email of the 3rd, it's addressed to, and you do mention in your statement at paragraph 135, the email is addressed to Captain Pktt Sibongile and Mabula TR, and then copied to General Sibia and General Sibula. Where in terms of office does Captain Pktt sit? In whose office?
Captain Pktt is in the office of the Deputy National Commissioner at Crime Detection, Lieutenant General CB.
And Mabula TR, do you know?
I won't know, Commissioners.
And then Sibula FM? General Sibula?
Sibula FM is in the office of the National Commissioner. She is the executive manager.
Yes. And then in the email to you, which is the email of the 7th of January, it is addressed to you, and then is addressed to you and to Captain Sibongile. And it doesn't appear that anyone from the Office of the National Commissioner is copied on that email. Am I correct?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Balois. So, let's go to the 14th of January. This is when the National Commissioner returns from leave. And can you just tell the Commissioner about the discussion you had with the National Commissioner on that day?
Thank you, Commissioners. I'm not going to repeat what I had explained, because the understanding and the confusion that one had when the letter was still unofficially trending continued even during this meeting, because both of us, we could not really understand the letter itself as to what might be informing these directives. But when it comes to the timelines that were on point number 3, there was also a long discussion between myself and the National Commissioner as to what is the meaning of a preliminary report that is required on the 20th. Because now that discussion came after the National Commissioner had said, go and prepare the preliminary report. I said, but when I read, I don't understand as to what is the preliminary report. So I want the understanding, so as whatever that I go and draft, it's what is required on the 20th. Is the preliminary report that talks to how are you going to disband, or is the preliminary report that talks to how this task team came about, or the progress report, or what is happening? So we had a long discussion. Hence, then the preliminary report that was submitted ended up having both. So as at least if you are wrong, but we have given, because the first part of the 27-page report is giving a detailed briefing that has never happened before of the task team, the performance, the challenges, and other issues that one felt that maybe the minister is. In that report, we are addressing even the issues that were on the media space around the political killing task team. So because of the confusion and lack of understanding, we ended up compiling the mother of all preliminary report that will cover everything. And then at the end, then it talks to what the National Commissioner also understood to be, might be the preliminary report in terms of disbandment process.
You say, General, it was a two-part report. The first part, where I think you were justifying to the minister why the Pktt existed. How did you conclude that part? We went through that report, I think, when General Masemula was testifying, but I do not think that we focused on what you have just mentioned now, which is that the report was a two-part report. So how did you conclude on the first part?
The reason why we ended up agreeing to have a report in that format, we had a long discussion on what
General.
informed.
So, I'm very sorry, General. I'm not asking why you decided to have a two-part report.
Yeah.
I'm asking what, in the end, you said in that report with regard to or in relation to the first part. Did you conclude that the Pktt, therefore, ought not to be disbanded? That's what I want to hear you on.
Thank you, Commissioner, if I understand the question very well. If one try to summarize the last part of the report.
The last part of the first part. Did I understand you to say that? Did I understand you to say that your report was in two parts? Did I understand you correctly?
Yes, sir.
The first part explaining why the Pktt existed. Is that correct?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes. So what I'm asking you is, let's just focus on that part, the first part. What was your conclusion, if any, on the first part? Did you reach a conclusion at all? Perhaps a conclusion that said, Minister, the Pktt ought not to be disbanded because of all the reasons that we give above? Or did you not conclude specifically on the first part or with regard to the first part?
When it comes to the discussion, we concluded that the task team ought not to be disbanded, but one then has to refer to the report itself and confirm. But at no stage where there was an agreement between the two of us in that discussion that the team needs to be disbanded.
Thank you. Thank you, General. I see that it's 3 minutes past 1. Let us adjourn and resume at 5 past 2. Let's adjourn.
Thank you, Chair.